You ever hear of Dark Souls? The game franchise with brutal combat difficulty, a massive variety of armor and weapons, varied and high blood pressure inducing boss fights, and a dark and gritty, while also ornate and beautiful, linear open world? Well, my friends, if you like Dark Souls, I have a sweet, sweet treat for you. Join me, your friendly neighborhood Buffalo Flats, on a journey and find out about a big, juicy morsel I have prepared for you.
So good.
Starting with Demon Souls, the Dark Souls franchise had its own cult little following, and as each release went out, it got more and more popular. And it got so popular to the point that now it has its own genre called Souls-like. It's called Souls-like because it's like Dark Souls. Basically, there's a shit ton of games that take mechanics from Dark Souls and implement them into their own games, either making them exactly the same or very similar, and they also have very similar combat mechanics. Honestly, they're just all hard, and if you're really lucky, you'll get a roll around, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Prominent games in this subgenre that are not developed by From Software include Lords of the Fallen, which suck, Neo, The Surge 1 and 2, Mortal Shell, which is freaking awesome, Death's Door, which is also very cool, and the topic of this video, Remnant from the Ashes. Boy, oh boy, am I excited to talk about this game. It has a lot of similarities to Dark Souls, but it also has guns.
Well, did he get lucky or what?
Remnant from the Ashes was developed by Gunfire Games and published by Perfect World Entertainment. So first of all, I guess we gotta know what makes it a Souls-like. Well, just like Dark Souls, Remnant from the Ashes has the smoky door mechanic. Another similarity between Remnant from the Ashes and Dark Souls is the bonfire system.
Okay. I've never used one of these before, so... Hey, this isn't gonna do anything weird to me.
You know, I actually don't know what happens to that guy. But there's two kinds of bonfires in this game. There's little bonfires and slightly larger ones that are used as checkpoints, which allow you to go back to the main hub. At the small bonfires, you can only rest and get your stuff back and respawn all the enemies. At the big bonfires, you can travel back to the main hub. Yeah, speaking of the main hub, this is the main hub. It's called Ward 13. You can explore it for some secrets and stuff. And as I meander over to this fellow over here, he's mute, so he draws on a chalkboard, and he says, "You got glowing fragments? You got glowing fragments?" Basically, when you beat world bosses, you get glowing fragments. It allows you to get reskins and rare rings that you can wear in the game. This fellow here allows you to upgrade your weapons and your armor. And I would say the weapons are put into two separate categories. Boss weapons and regular weapons, in which you just find in the world. None are better than the others. Boss weapons are not better than weapons you find in the world. Weapons you find in the world are not better than boss weapons. It purely depends on your play style and which weapons, honestly, that you like more. After you beat a boss, you'll get a special crafting material. And that special crafting material can be made to create a weapon or a mod. Some bosses have special conditions, like some bosses you can beat, you'll get an item, but if you beat them without taking any damage, you'll get an even rarer crafting item to craft an even more rare weapon. That doesn't necessarily make it better though. As I said, there are a lot of different playstyles in this game, and different weapons, armor sets, rings, and necklaces cater to those very specific playstyles. If you notice right here, my armor, whenever I reload, it increases damage I do to the next enemy I hit. So both of my weapons have one bullet in the chamber, so I reload after every shot. And armor stacks. So if you wear 3 pieces of the same set of armor, it will increase the armor's ability. So I'm very good at dealing high amounts of damage to single targets. You can also wear a necklace and 2 rings, which also heavily impact your playstyle. And if we were to look at this ring, for instance, whenever I deal a certain amount of damage with my clip, and then I reload, I can deal 7% more damage on top of what my armor is already doing. So basically, I'm just reinforcing my playstyle. And there are so many rings and necklaces you can get. And the best part is, you can just find them laying around maps as you explore. Yeah, you literally just find them laying on the ground. Oh, you play the same level, you'll find the same rings, right?
Nope. Chuck Testa.
Nope. Literally, the whole world, every single level is procedurally generated.
Holy shit!
Yeah, you just go to the main big old crystal in the main hub. You get 3 options, survival, adventure, or campaign mode. Then you click one, you create a new adventure, and then there's all these maps. You click the map, then you can load into the adventure. The cool thing is, if you do the campaign, you have to start from the very beginning and go through each place one at a time. In adventure mode, you could pick a specific map and, get the items from beating the bosses in that map and stuff, so you don't have to do the campaign all over again. Yeah, and hard difficulty is the second easiest difficulty. This game is really hard. But the bosses are awesome. Take a look at this bad boy and tell me you don't want to kill him. Yep, and that's just one of many, many, many bosses in the game. You can reroll a new adventure and fight completely different bosses the second adventure than you did the first adventure. And that's really cool because it gives you replayability in the game. It lets you keep fighting new bosses, explore new things. And that's really nice as a player. Plus it's hard, which makes it more fun, in my humble opinion. Your friendly neighborhood Buffalo Flats. But there's one very, 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 very important thing I still have not talked about, and that is traits. Traits are the backbone of your playstyle. You get them from beating bosses, killing a certain amount of enemies, exploring the world, just doing random stuff. Just more playing, you unlock more of these things, talking to NPCs. So as you level up, you get a trait point. And you can upgrade your traits. Traits vary anything from your overall health to your movement speed, to how fast you can vault over objects, to how fast you can charge your mods. Mods? Mods?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
This is a mod. A mod is an attachment to a weapon that gives you an extra ability. It can be an offensive ability. It can be a healing ability. Non-removable mods are on boss weapons. Boss weapons have mods that you can't change, which is actually a downside because some regular weapons, there's some really good mods you can attach to regular weapons. Yeah, that's a mod. You get them by beating bosses and crafting them at the main hub. In Dark Souls, there's a lot of types of damage. There's curse damage. There's lightning, there's fire, etc., etc. Well, same with Remnant from the Ashes. Except there's no curse damage, there's root rot. Well, there's actually bleeding, fire, root rot, radiation, corrosive, shock, and frost. And, different armors protect you more or less from different types of damage. Incredible. But in my opinion, the best part about this game is the difficulty, while also the mechanics really meld well together to create a finely tuned machine of a game. But also the difficulty is very hard, and when you finally beat that boss, it's so rewarding. So rewarding. There was a handful of bosses in this game that were just ridiculously hard. It took me so many tries to beat. But there's one in particular that was so hard, I just quit. I just quit playing her. If I ever had to fight her, I would skip her. She's an optional boss. But, luckily in recording footage for this video, I have a sweet compilation of me dying. Over and over again. Sadly, I didn't record voice, but I was screaming a lot. And crying. And, screaming and crying. But I didn't give up. Me? No, I never give up. I kept trying and trying and trying for hours and hours until I could finally say that I beat this boss. She tried to get in my head, but I wouldn't let her. I gave her the left. I gave her the right. I gave her the uppercut. I blocked all her shots. I dodged all her shots. And I overcame adversity at every step from the beginning into the end. And then I finally had my chance. The kill shot. All I had to do was hit. And then I grabbed my bow and blasted that bitch in the head. I emerged victorious. The amount of dopamine juicing through my brain was just overwhelming. I had evolved from Buffalo Flats into Super Saiyan Buffalo Flats. Yeah, but seriously, the game is amazing. I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. And the only problems involve procedural generation, and it's one of two issues. One, you'll either see the same thing over and over again when you get into new instances. So you'll go into this new adventure, boom, you'll see the same thing over and over. And the other one, which is kind of the opposite end of the problem, is if you're trying to find something specific, it can take a while for you to get there just by doing random adventures. But the game is multiplayer, which means you can basically play Dark Souls with guns with your friends. So, yeah. There's two things I wanted to say at the end of the video. First is thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I have more subscribers now than I thought I'd ever have, making videos. I thought I wouldn't even make an impact, and I have 186 subscribers, which might not seem like a lot, but for me that's a lot, so thank you. I appreciate you subscribing and watching, and I hope I continue to make content you enjoy. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was my slow upload pace. So literally 2-3 months ago, I learned how to edit on this software. I just figured out how to make my audio not shitty. But then after I fixed the issue, it made everything super quiet, so I got rid of the fix. We're still working on it on my end. And then also, I'm in grad school. I'm in my very last year of grad school. So I don't really have much free time. I also work part-time on top of that. So whatever I have free time, I play Apex and I make YouTube videos. So, yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time, baby.